So after you've talked about the benefits and the drawbacks, your opinion is going to be informed by those things. And your opinion doesn't just have to be based on the scientific ones. You might be swayed by a social reason, and that's okay because you've justified it based on research and based on your personal stance on it. You're going to suggest a course of action in this particular one with reasons or explanations why this would be a good course of action. You might say, I don't support the introduction of marine turbines in the Hokianga Harbour, but I think it's worth investigating in other areas, and this is why. And you're going to address that course of action at a particular person or group of people, so local government, national government, private industry. It's going to be very specific. So you're actually going to write your report now. This is the bare knuckle part of your actual doing the work. And some people find this really, really, really hard to do. But with my handy guide, you should be able to manage this. Write one paragraph at a time. It seems really hard if you're looking and you go, I've got to get 3,000 words out of this. What do I do now? No. You only have to write one paragraph for now. So pick one. It doesn't really matter where you're starting. Start with the one you're most confident with. A paragraph has 3 to 6 sentences. You're going to start with a topic sentence that states what the paragraph is about. If you start writing and you get to more than about 6 sentences, when you're finished, you might want to consider breaking it into 2 paragraphs. Don't do that yet. So you start with your topic sentence, and then you expand on it, you elaborate it. You might do any one of these things here. So you could have a list of sequence or steps. So you might list the steps in electromagnetic induction in turbines. You might list the sequence of events. So you might list the order of things in the attempt to get marine electricity generation in the Hokianga Harbour. You might order things into categories. So you might talk about renewable, non-renewable energy, or some other types of categories. You can compare similarities and differences. You can explain a cause and an effect. So you say, so-and-so causes these things to happen. You might also call this implications, which are ways people are affected by things. You can evaluate the importance. So things here, you would be saying things like, this is important because, or this should not be given too much value because. You could just be describing an event or a phenomena, in which case you're just stating its appearance, its qualities, all those things about it. Or you can be explaining something with reasons. So, I know I said write before, but this is it. Just write. Don't get bogged down at this point by making your writing perfect. No one cares at this point what your writing's like. I don't care. You shouldn't care either. Your word count is the most important thing. Here's some tips that I've done to bash out essays. So 1, set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes. Write as much as you can without stopping. Do not stop. Do not second guess yourself. Just vomit those words out. Write an entire paragraph, then take a mini break. Make sure you time your breaks. Breaks should not be longer than the time you were writing for. Set up word wars. So you set a timer and you see who can write the most. Spelling, grammar, and so on are irrelevant. Who cares? Not me, not you. No one cares. You just need to get those words out onto the screen. That's all you need to do. Then you go back and you edit and you proofread. When you're editing, you're checking your content. You're checking, does this make sense? Did I cover all the things I meant to? Did I get carried away and say that twice? Is this section a bit bizarre and I should fix it? So that's what you're looking for there. Proofreading is based on correctness and it should come after editing. So let's say you've made a complete dog's breakfast of one section. Go back and fix that first. Then come back and correct it. Proofreading is spelling, punctuation, grammar, and formatting. If those things are correct and consistent, you are fine. Outsource at this point. If you can't find anyone to check your work for clarity and correctness, the very least, you should have enough time in your plan to let it sit for 3 days before you go back and check it yourself. But if you can get someone to check it, absolutely do so. They should not be your teacher. Your teachers can check for content and will be giving you feedback all the way through this process, but it should be someone else. If you find someone who's really good at checking, you should reward them. This person is going to be incredibly important to you through your report writing career. You need that person, and you should make them feel good about the service they are doing you. So hand your work in. Do not fail at this hurdle. Make sure you have done what the teacher asked you and handed it in the correct way. Do not say you're sorry at this point. Your teacher will find out soon enough if you are either, actually are terrible, or if you were just feeling really despondent. Don't apologize. You've done it. You've succeeded in handing it in, which is, frankly, a great triumph. If you need to hand it in person and you can't find your teacher, it must go to a responsible person. You cannot just shove it under the door to the office and hope for the best. As soon as you've handed it in, do not panic. There is no point panicking at this time. You can't do anything about it. Do not send your teacher emails. Do not ask her the next day, have you marked my essay or my report? Do not do that. Be zen. Concentrate on yourself. You've just completed a really massive piece of work. So take some time, relax, and get ready for when it comes back. Prepare yourself mentally on the inside to be really calm about it. As long as you've done your best, then you've already succeeded in lots of ways.